morning.
I apologize, we moved slower when it's cold out. Would you please rise and join us in prayer? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any changes to the tentative agenda? I have one, can we move the swearing in of the elected officials to after adjournment, so we don't have to run back down here and adjourn? Anybody have a problem with that? Okay. Okay. Meet with department heads and elected officials. Terry Johnson, Des Moines County Auditor.
Good morning. The office is busy. We're still working on budgets and everything else. And then I also want to announce that I got paperwork from the Danville School District. They are going to have a special election in March. So we'll be looking forward to that. But that's it.
Thank you, Terry. Rodney Bleasner, Maintenance.
Good morning. Just working on the budget and preparing for the weather we're gonna get the next couple of days, so other than that, nothing new to report.
Thank you, Rodney. And Colin Gerst, IT.
Just keeping busy like always and working on my budget, getting prepared for that. But other than that, nothing to report, so.
Sheriff Mike Johnstone.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
All is going well with the transition. The new sheriff will be sworn in here in a little bit. We're real excited about that, as well as the other elected officials. So looking forward to that. So looking forward to a little retirement time and probably this is my last board meeting. So it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the people of this county for 44 years, and looking to step down and do a few more things for the community. I'll still be around. Looking forward to sticking around, but slowing down a bit and enjoying life. That is it.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Mike, you're still welcome to come back, even though you're not gonna be obligated to.
Well, I might come back occasionally, and I'm not gonna go away anywhere, so
There you
a
go.
little traveling and enjoy life, but I'll still be active in the community and advocate for the department and Kevin, and I'll be there for him as needed, and just looking forward to slowing down a bit. So, but I'll still be here.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Brian Carter, Secondary Roads.
Good morning. I guess I'll congratulate Mike on his retirement. So 44 years is a long, long time. He's seen and done a lot, I'm sure. So been good to work with him, and look forward to continuing that with Kevin. Things are moving along. I think the guys made some good headway last week when we were a little warmer on some blading. So it's not perfect, but it is definitely better than it was. So we'll see what the weather brings today. We did have a couple trucks out yesterday morning early. If you were on the far north end of the county, you found it to be icier than you expected. So, but that stopped right up in the north couple miles, really. Once you got down towards Burlington, it was kind of just a regular dry world. So the bridge crew is still making headway. They hope to pour just less than 30 yards of concrete today on the south abutment. So that's great. So they're still moving along, and yeah, getting equipment ready to see what this afternoon and this evening brings. So other than that, I don't have anything other than agenda items. So well, I guess I should mention also, we're working on an agreement with Lee County. Lee County's board engineer were concerned about how to handle a shortfall of personnel if COVID were to hit their office and they couldn't plow snow effectively. So they called, and the engineer asked if I would work out an agreement with them to backfill personnel. So they actually went on to Lynch Dallas, which is also the firm we use, and had them develop a 28E, and we've been kind of back and forth on that. So nothing there, real rocket science. Is just I guess, given them some assurances. We would have helped them out either way, but, and they would help us out either way, no different than any other neighbor we have. But either way, just to give you a heads up, at some point that'll probably come before the board for that. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Colin Gerst, IT.
No, already did.
What?
You already talked about it.
Oh, I gotta be retrained. I wasn't here last week. Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County Attorney.
Staying fairly quiet with the holidays. We did receive some information from the liaison for Carpel that we actually are going to be credited $10,000 from a grant that the county, or that the state had received. So that's gonna be $10,000 off of what we expected to pay for Carpel. So we were very, very excited to see that.
Good.
Other than that, just enjoying the quiet time while it lasts.
When are the courts scheduled to open now?
Well, the courts are open. The only thing that's really closed for us is jury trials, which is, you know, the big bulk of what we do. We're still doing bench trials on a limited basis. The associate court has limited those to hearings that where time is of the essence. So crimes against persons at the simple misdemeanor level are still having hearings. Domestic abuse assaults are still having hearings, violations of no contact orders, harassments, those types of offenses. Other than that, the associate court has kind of kicked all of the other simple misdemeanor trials out for a little bit, just to avoid having a lot of traffic in the courthouse. But we're still doing our indictable court on Fridays. We do most of that by phone. Our juvenile hearings, for the most part, are by phone. I do understand that they're actually handling civil family law cases upstairs. So it's really us that's kind of log jammed a little bit. Our first trial date will be February 16th, I believe. And then we'll just kind of go like gangbusters. I know we've gotten the February 16th felony docket to under 100, which we're very, very excited about. But of that 100, I think 20 of them are demands, which means we'll have to be moving those quickly to make sure that they get heard in a timely manner. So now we're just playing, doing discovery and doing all of the behind the scenes things to make sure that on February 16th, once we're ready to do trials, we are ready to go.
Thank you, Lisa. Jared Lassiter, land use.
I don't have anything specific on the agenda today. We got a subdivision that'll probably be on the agenda next week, but nothing major. Right now, we're just looking forward to going into the new year, getting the last steps on this ordinance update for subdivision and zoning, and hopefully with some additional feedback from the zoning commission, we'll have something ready here in the next few months to get forward on finalizing that. So it's been a long time coming. We've had a lot of challenges moving forward with that this year, but it's getting there, and we're looking forward to that. And then just since now we're as we enter the new year, I want to thank Bob for his time assisting with us as we've had a few meetings going over that process, getting some feedback on that ordinance update. So I want to thank him for that, and I also want to thank him for the time he served on the SCRPC board over the years, which is something that doesn't always get acknowledged. So thanks for that. And I don't have anything else to report.
Thanks, Jared. Bob Housewright, Veterans Affairs. Bob, I know you're here for an agenda item, but how are things with Veterans Affairs?
Well, we're trying to find a replacement for the director, who is me, since I'm retiring here shortly, and we're in the process of hiring a new director for the office. That's about it.
Thank you. Ken Hyman, Community Services.
Good morning. I thought we had a good Zoom meeting yesterday with our legislators about mental health needs and how we use CARES Act dollars towards mental health, and just the fact that we've got all these complex needs, new legislation, and all the children's mental health new legislation, and we need funding to go with that legislation. And so I thought it was a good meeting yesterday. We had a pretty good turnout from legislators on the Zoom call. So that's the latest.
Thank you, Kim. Krista Poggemiller, Public Health.
Good morning. We continue to be busy, not as busy as we have been with contact tracing. The 7-day percentage is 8%. We've had 86 positive cases of COVID in the last 7 days. And the 14-day percentage of COVID positivity is 11% with 150 cases, which makes a total of 3,458 cases since we started tracking back in March. We have started giving the Moderna vaccine at our office. And that's specifically for healthcare providers who, let's see if I put this wrong, which are paid and unpaid persons serving in healthcare settings who have the potential for direct and indirect exposure to patients, and those who are unable to work telehealth. Healthcare folks working in residential and long-term care facilities, including those in inpatient, outpatient community settings, that would have exposure to patients or patients' families or infectious materials. So we've been reaching out to anyone who fits in that category and asking them to contact us and letting us know that if they're interested in taking a vaccine, and we're making those lists and giving those vaccines as quickly as we get the more vaccine in. So it's a positive thing. We're headed in the right direction. You know, there's starting to be that, we're turning the corner on COVID. So you know, it's exciting once the vaccines, since the vaccines are here. So, and I also wanted to thank Bob for all his time. He has served as our liaison on the Board of Health. So thank you for all your help.
We're a pleasure working with
Thank you.
Kirsty, have you got any information on that new strainer finding over in the UK?
I don't. I just heard about that. What I have heard, I have a conference call again today with IDPH, but I think what they had initially been saying is that the vaccine should also cover for that strain, but I think it's still, that's still tentatively what they've put out there. There hasn't been, I haven't had any phone calls or anything with IDPH since, so I'm hoping they'll address that today on today's call.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Krista, and thanks to your contact tracers. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
And I know that's not as easy a job as it sounds.
It can be challenging.
You got another line.
I have one on here. It's Janelle Nellie Longquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Janelle Nellie Longquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Good morning. We just continue to keep busy. I have nothing new to report.
Thank you, Janelle.
You're welcome.
Oh, I didn't see you over there. I've already called on that corner of the room about 3 times more than I was supposed to. Chris Lee, Conservation, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
Oh, that's all right. I come sneaking in kind of after you got started. Nothing really to report, just happy to be down and say hi to Bob on his last meeting.
Thank you, Chris. Did I miss anybody else? I don't think so. Krista took care of COVID-19. Either of you gentlemen have any correspondence?
I don't.
I don't.
Well, I did. I got a lot of really nice handwritten notes from a lot of people.
Probably the people who've been calling you up and yelling over the years.
Yeah. All those people that I said no to, they remembered. And it wasn't, you said no for, forgot. That's all right. That's the way it goes. I gotta say, I really appreciate what I've done, what's going on the last 16 years here. Department heads, you guys run this place, I don't. And it could not have happened without you guys. How many of you I've worked with, and every one of you had to teach me. And it's a blessing to work with great people. This county's loaded with them. We're very, very blessed. So.
Supervisors are notoriously slow learners. Up to this point.
Some of it, I always say government moves slow, and thank God.
Okay, we will proceed to discussion and vote. We have a years of service recognition. We have a recognition of 16 years of service for Robert Beck, County Supervisor. Congratulations, Bob.
Thank you, sir. Sanitizer.
We have 27 and a half years of service, Robert Housewright, Veterans Affairs Director.
Thank you.
Robert, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
With the sheriff sneak off too.
He's sitting in Bob's chair. He's hiding in there.
Send him out here.
Thank you.
There.
The all-time winner here.
And for 44 and a half years of service, Mike Johnstone, County Sheriff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Enjoy the easy chair in there.
The county will miss all of you.
In a good way?
In a good way, mostly a good way. You've all done wonderful things for the county and for the community at large, so thank you all. We have payroll reimbursement claims in the amount of $328.40.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have a library contract with the Danville Public Library and Museum that the board actually agreed last year, we're going to pay the other library, give them $10,000 a year. And since we just approved it for 1 year, it needs to be a contract, as the budget director, auditor pointed out to me. So anyway, so this is the contract to make that an annual payment.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have appointment of a township trustee. I am requesting your approval for a 4-year term appointment as a Danville Township trustee. Mr. Michael Miltenberger, 18505 135th Street, Danville, Iowa. Terry?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes.
I'd like to thank Mike for his service already.
That's a lot tougher job than we've got.
Yes, it is. They really get hate mail.
Okay. We have approval of contracts for the Flint Bottom Road paving project. I assume this is something Brian will address for us.
Yeah, so as you guys know, and most people know, we bid the Flint Bottom paving job. It's a job that does 2 different segments of Flint Bottom, replaces the old concrete with new concrete. Roughly, both segments are about 9/10 of a mile, give or take. An engineer's estimate was just a shade under 2.4 million. Low bid was just a shade under 2 million. So we had great bids. We had 5 or 6 bidders. And I think 4 of the 6 were all within under $100,000 of the estimate. So competition was good for Des Moines County again, and I would request that you sign that. The low bidder was Jones Contracting, and they've done good work for us, and I'm sure we'll do good on this project. This job will start in either late March or early April, and it will run basically the entire construction season, I would guess, mostly because they can only do one segment at a time. So they'll have to work on one, get it open to traffic, and then they can move over and start the year. We didn't want people landlocked in between. I mean, there would be gravel road access, but we were trying to minimize that. So anyway, good bids, good project, needs to be done, and I request you to approve the contract, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Brian, thanks for knowing when to get them bids in when you got a lot of competition out there. It sure helps.
Yeah, having that DOT work around here the last couple of years has saved Des Moines County taxpayers a lot of money and gotten a lot more work done because we've turned around and this is a great example. We didn't think we'd be able to do this full job and we've saved so much money on some other bids that it's allowed us to do additional work and we're not done. We have a couple smaller jobs we're gonna go after. So, thank you.
Okay, we have several personnel actions. We have a personnel action for the Assessor's Office, Robert Rolfs, a resignation. That's the only personnel action we have for the Assessor's Office.
Move to approve.
Second?
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have one personnel action for GIS. We have a Jeff Combs, a GIS technician. Resignation with vacation pay, I believe that's 25.16 hours.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have one personnel action for the Des Moines County Public Health, Dorothy Ickes, resignation.
Move to approve.
Second?
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have a personnel action for the Sheriff's Department, Honorable Board of Supervisors. On January 2nd, 2021, I will be leaving my position as a sergeant with the Des Moines County Sheriff's Office and assuming the elected position of Des Moines County Sheriff. In accordance with Iowa Code 55, I am requesting a leave of absence from my employment as a sergeant with the Des Moines County Sheriff's Office for the duration of my time in the elected office of Des Moines County Sheriff. I am requesting that the leave of absence be without loss of net credited service and benefits earned, and that I will be compensated for any unused vacation time and sick time in accordance with the board's current policy upon my retirement or return to employer. Iowa Code 55 says that if someone runs for a public office, they don't lose any of their the benefits or credits they've earned. So,
Move to approve.
Second that?
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. And we have a personnel action for the Veterans Affairs. We have is it Robert E., is it House, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. A retirement. So,
I suppose we can't reject that, huh?
you can, I think he's gonna leave anyway, so.
Yeah, well, I'll move to approve.
I'll second that with regrets. Bob, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Thank you again, Bob. You have a great retirement.
When are you gonna go for your next job?
Pardon?
Where are you going for your next job?
Well, this is my second retirement. I don't believe I'll go for another one.
Okay, we have the jail statistics for November 2020. This report will be on file in the auditor's office and available for public review. We have minutes for the regular meeting of December 22nd,
Move to approve.
2020. Terry?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Abstain. Okay, we will move the swearing in ceremony till after the adjournment. Is there any other business?
None.
Future agenda items.
I have none, Tom.
Have none.
Committee reports.
Holiday week, didn't have any.
I attended a Zoom meeting with the Southeast Iowa Mental Health Region and the area legislators, and it was I thought that some good questions asked, and I thought it went well. Public input. Since there's limited seating, we anybody that's watching this on YouTube or WebEx may email the Board of Supervisors at board@dmcounty.com. That's BOARD@dmcounty.com, or call 319-753-8203 extension 4. That's 319-753-8203 extension 4. We'll give you 2 minutes to make those calls. Is there anybody in attendance that would like to make some comments or public input? Not even you, Bob?
Hey, Tom. This gentleman called and talked to Carla about 20 minutes ago. He tried calling that number and couldn't get through, so it kicked him to the sheriff's office. He has some questions for the board about funding.
Wesley Staff, 754-4709. He has a question about SEAL funds going to schools.
So he would like a call. I'm just.
Oh, he'd like a call.
I'm just-
Well, if somebody else says, we'll give him a call, but the SEAL region got some CARES Act funds. I don't remember, $1 million. It was quite a bit.
1.5, yeah.
$1.5 million. And part of that went to the schools.
He's not watching because he can't watch for some reason, so I'm
Well,
just.
and that's fine,
I'm letting
we'll
you
call,
know
we'll call,
that.
oh, well, I'm gonna have Ken call him, but, so anyway, so that was the, money that was going to the
Went towards
schools.
mental health and.
Yeah, there's the children's mental health, legislation that was passed 2 years ago, I believe, so.
Yeah, so one-time money.
Okay, well, I will delegate this to you, Ken.
Sure.
Anybody else, okay? With an I,
Oh, we got 40 seconds left.
oh, I'm sorry, I thought I chattered more than that.
Normally you do.
Normally I do, well, that's.
Tell us about your vacation.
Well, we went to, my son lives in Tennessee, my daughter lives in Miami, and the stars of the show, my grandchildren, lived with my daughter and son-in-law in Miami, and we hadn't seen them in 6 months. And anyway, so we rented a house close out there in the woods in North Carolina. We all got tested the day before we went out there, and I got to be called AMP-off for a while. So that was, it was quite a good Christmas in that regard. And Mrs. Broker's she's a little easier to get along with now. She was getting a little testy for a while because she hadn't picked up a grandchild.
Put that in the paper, Bob.
You know, Tom, when you say that, because Carol had tickets to go see our great-grandkids in Washington,
Uh-huh.
they wouldn't let them in because they're mild.
Really?
Yep. And we were a red state or something that had too much. Krista had spread the word too much.
We're working on bringing those
No,
over.
nobody asked us, we just snuck in.
You know, it's amazing, you know, they're the ones with the problem.
Yeah. I wanted to get back for the meeting yesterday, so I drove straight through, which was over 12 hours, Sunday, but that's fine. Mrs. Broker got some rest. We're adjourned. We will reconvene upstairs. Does anybody not know where the third floor courthouse is?
Courtroom.
Courtroom. I guess we're in the courthouse. Well, it's the third floor of the courthouse and the courtroom. So we will be up.
Yeah, line up and do it.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Or if you're all members, yeah, if you want to come up here, we'll kind of, we're going to do each oath individually. Do you have everybody here that you want to have here? Yeah, wait, you four come up here. Jim, if you want to come up too.
You're welcome, James.
And we'll do them individually, but we'll still discuss. So I want to welcome everyone here today. This is a ceremony of transition and continuity at the same time. And that is one of the miracles of our form of government, that we can just plow forward and keep going, but at the same time grow with new people, new thoughts, and new blood. And that's a miracle. It's a wonderful thing. And you all may think about this or not think about it. I think about it a lot. We judges seldom get to do anything that's fun or happy. Generally, our days are spent with unhappy and dissatisfied people. So it's a pleasure for me to be a part of this uplifting event that brings pleasure and happiness to all of us. In this day and age, public service could almost be a dirty word. And that's sad that our communities and our society think that public service is not an honorable avocation. But it is. And it takes dedicated, selfless people to come forward and want to serve and make us have good government. So we are fortunate in Des Moines County to have folks like this, honest, decent people, to step forward and take on that responsibility. And you all know, some of you have already done this several times in other ways, that it is not it's a thankless job. It takes dedication, sacrifice, and commitment, and a heck of a thick skin to get through all that will be said and done about you. And I also recognize that it's not just you, it's your loved ones as well, because you're making a sacrifice by sharing these folks with all the rest of us. It's been said that public service is one of the most challenging and yet one of the most satisfying things that anyone can do. And what you're going to do here in a few minutes to take this oath is your public affirmation, that commitment to be selfless, honest, and ethical in your duties in public office. So thank you for doing that. So,
Judge, I just have to interrupt you. She's got me amped. Good.
And that's a good thing. Thank you. So, Madam Auditor, if you raise your right hand, I, Terry Johnson,
Terry Johnson,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties and office in the office of the County Auditor in and for Des Moines County,
discharge all the duties of the office of the County Auditor in and for Des Moines County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
All right. I, Kevin Glendinning.
I, Kevin Glendinning,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of the office of County Sheriff in and for Des Moines County,
of the office of the County Sheriff in and for Des Moines County,
as now or hereafter required by law.
Des Moines County, Iowa, as now or hereafter required by law.
I, Jim Carey,
I, Jim Carey,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of the office of the Board of
of
Supervisors
the office of the Board of Supervisors
in and for Des Moines County,
in and for Des Moines County,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
I, Shane McCampbell,
I, Shane McCampbell,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office
discharge all the duties of the office
of the Board of Supervisors of Des Moines County, Iowa,
of the Board of Supervisors of Des Moines County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, all of you. Thank you.
You've done this a million times, huh?
And then we'll actually do the oaths of office, which you've actually now said, so if you would sign these here, and I will countersign them. And the auditor gets these back. He's the keeper of everything. Oh, got the wrong one. Good thing you saw that.
Get you for 40. Yes, sure.
Yep, Shane Campbell. Now, Sheriff, there you go. And I hope this is the last time we ever do this in mass.
Amen to that.
There we go. Madam Auditor. These are your certificates of election verifying that you were truly elected as a county auditor, county director.
And safe and securely.
That's exactly right.
Thank you so much.
You bet. All right. That concludes our little ceremony today. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Judge.